All right, traders, welcome back to part two of AR, anticipating retracements. In this video, I just want you guys to wrap your hand around anticipating retracements. Even though we are anticipating a retracement to occur, sometimes it just doesn't happen. And the reason why we might not get the retracement that we are looking for is because price is so strong in the other direction or in the opposite direction that it just blasts through the AR level. And if we are really strong pushing up or even pushing down, that's even better, guys. That is price basically showing you we are so strong that we're not even gonna attempt to create a lower high. We're not even going to attempt to create a higher low. We're just gonna blast through that level, blast through that area, blast through that zone because we are so strong. And the reason why I wanted you guys to get this concept is because when I talk about, breaks of structure and retest, hunting for liquidity, and even my strategy and entry confirmations in general, I want you guys to understand that sometimes AR levels are not going to be tested. They're going to break. Okay? So, for example, guys, I have established or told you guys previous highs is where price likes to, create higher lows, right? So this area is a previous high, but this can also be called what? An AR level, right? Because I told you guys, AR levels can be previous highs, right? To create a higher low, right? Okay, in a bullish market, but we can use them for sells. Okay, so this is an AR level. So I know if we were trace here, right, and we fail to break previous highs, then we start breaking this low, we might get structure that's like this. And that is what all of part one basically explained to you. Now, part two is basically saying this. Okay, you know what? We might be too strong to even hold here and retrace back up. We might just want to break this, right? And if we break it, what is really important, guys? What's really important is all these lows here. One, two, three, four, and five. If we're trying to, TP all the way down here, let's just say, okay? These are all lows that need to get broken if price wants to continue pushing down, right? So if we break this and, you can get in on the retest and, just ride price down. So the AR level is still here. It's still valid. It's just saying, you know what? We were so strong that instead of respecting, we broke structure. This is why I wanted you guys to understand breaks of structure, and this is why I have a lesson on it, because breaks of structure it's very, very powerful. And it's almost like it's something I use every single time I trade, right? Whether it fails to break or actually breaks, it's a concept that you need to master it. You need to master seeing it because it will give you great entries and it will prevent you from getting in too early. So if we break the strong, all I'm really looking for is price to break lows and respect highs. And when I get into my entry confirmations, I will explain what I'm specifically looking for. But in this case, I just wanted you guys to wrap your head around, okay, AR levels don't always just respect. Sometimes we break, right? And you guys see how we failed to break this previous low here, right? And even if you saw this and you tried to get into this level here, and then we came here and you're like, oh, okay, it broke and retested, let me sell. The key thing you want to see is after price, respected this, how are we looking to the left? Are we respecting or is price trying to correct back up, right? And if we correct back up and we, start breaking structure, that's price breaking highs. And then yeah, price is going to continue trying to push, is literally going to try and push up, right? And so I just wanted you guys to understand that AR levels can be broken and how it breaks and and how price looks after it breaks is very important. Okay? How price looks how price looks after AR levels break is important because we could do what? Continuously start breaking what? Breaking lows, or if we fail to break, this next low here, we're obviously going to come up. And then if we start respecting these highs here, price is going to try and keep going higher. So I just wanted you to show you this example, and I'm going to show you another example because I want you guys to really, really understand this concept. And When it comes to ARs, it's going to take a while for you guys to wrap your head around it. And honestly, the reason why is because you'll see it in slightly different ways. Okay, so sometimes you'll see it break, sometimes you won't see it break, and then sometimes when we get the retracement, we get the push up right for buys, let's just say, but then we start failing to break highs continuously, or we fail to break lows continuously for sells, right? When you see lows failing continuously, or when you see highs failing continuously, just know the price can literally reverse. That means we're still not strong to continue pushing up. And price may, come back lower, find some other type of support zone or level to either buy or sell from. Okay. So this is another good example of ARs breaking. Okay. And I wanted to make these examples not a little bit not complex but different because I want you guys to I want you guys to really see that they're not always going to be perfect. This is an AR level. Why? Because we know in this area, price may do what? Create some type of lower high to continue pushing down. And this low here is valid, but if you want an even stronger area, guys, all these are lows as well, right? All these are lows as well. So we are anticipating that price is going to retrace here. And if we hold and respect this previous low here, we could continue pushing up. That's what we would want for buys, right? We could have the support, that was what we would want if price wanted to, to continue pushing up. But we also know that because these are great retracement points, that if we wanted to push lower, we might see this low get broken. And this is where we are watching to see how price is breaking. Okay. That being said, guys, in this example, look at this. So I'm just going to mark this AR, previous low, AR equals previous low in a bearish market. You usually are looking for buys when you see it like this. And listen, sometimes you can look at it as just a previous low, right? The reason why you can say previous low is realistically, we know previous lows like to create a lower high, and we know and that might be something easier for you guys to wrap your head around. So you know that, okay, this is a previous low, we could get a retracement or we could just fly through it. If we get the retracement, okay, I know I'm looking at this low, seeing if we're respecting it to continue pushing up. Okay, I know if we just break past it, okay, and maybe we retest it, maybe we don't. But if we continue pushing up and we fail to do what? Break this previous high here, that is what? Price failing to break highs. Price needs to do two things. Respect lows and break highs to continue pushing up. It needs to do two things to sell. We need to break lows and respect highs to continue pushing down, right? So you are always constantly looking for those things. And that is why I created the power of highs and lows video, because those two things are ridiculously important, guys. Ridiculously important if you want to time your entries really, really well. So let's watch this. Let's watch this. Okay. Came here, right? This is price breaking the AR. We were so strong for buys at this support zone that we just started pushing up. Now, what do I need to confirm that price is going to continue pushing up, guys? I must get this previous high broken. I need this previous high to break. And I know that highs can also be what? They can also be considered resistance. Highs can be considered resistance. Okay. I need to make sure that if we push up, we must break this level. If not, guys, what would this be? What would this technically be? Price is respecting it. That's price respecting highs. And if we start breaking this AR level, right, these previous lows here, that could potentially cause price to do what? Create bearish structure. Okay. So the reason why I say this is advanced is because it might take you guys a little while to wrap your head around it. Remember, guys, you are not supposed to master everything I tell you in one video. You need to practice it. You're not going to understand something just because I'm teaching it, or just because I'm using simple terminology. You have to train your eyes, you have to train your mind to see it the way I see it. That's how videos work, that's how courses work, right? Even if you were in college, you might not get the lecture right away, but over time, as you practice, Over time, as you see it more, over time, as you do more lessons, as you talk to people about it, as you even ask questions about it, you will get better at it. Okay, so let's watch this. Let's watch this. Didn't break that previous high. Okay, so what do? We came back here. We didn't break it, which is good. And then price started shooting up, right? And then we kind of failed to break this previous high here, which is highs are usually resistance, right? Which is why we had this little retracement here, right? Swept this low, but immediately after taking this low out, it still held, still respecting this previous low here. Pushed up, right? Broke this previous high here, okay? Continued pushing up. And then now we got what? Price creating some form of structure. That is my goal is for you guys to read it exactly how I read it like that. I know I might make it sound simple and easy. It's because it really, once you get your head around it, it's really that simple. But my part two of this video was to really just get you guys to understand. Sometimes we're so strong for buys that we just break. And usually this is why if I was to end up getting into this position here, I would have started, let's just say I got into this position here. Immediately when I saw this level, these previous highs failing to break, guys, I would have probably just taken myself out the trade, reanalyze, and see how we respect this low here. The reason why is because I've seen this so many times, and I know if we're strong for buys, that when we come down here and retrace, we should respect this, right? But we should also break this. And after price came here and tested this AR, usually ARs are great retest levels as well. So when we tested it, I would want price to continue pushing up super strong. But instead we started breaking, and then that's when I'm like, okay, we failed to break this previous high. If we fail to break, we know the other option is for price to do is sell. And we didn't even respect this AR level. And because we didn't respect it, I'm like, I don't like this too much. We probably are going to what? Continue pushing down, and we could have gone lower, but instead we did slightly respect this. Maybe we swept this low a little bit with these wicks, but then it reversed in the opposite direction. So be mindful on how structure looks, right? When you see ARs, don't just think, okay, we got an anticipating retracement, blah blah blah. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get you guys to wrap your head around. You are always constantly looking at highs and lows, and just seeing how they are formed, seeing how they are respected or broken, can really help you guys massively get great entries.